It's the 80s experience on FM 88.5 KSBR. He is one of the most amazing bass players in music history, in my personal opinion. He has been a part of great bands like Flotsam and Jetsam, Metallica, and a brand new band called Newstead. Jason Newstead, what's going on, my friend?
Hey, man. Wow, that's quite an introduction. I appreciate the props there. Holy crap.
Well, you are a pretty damn good bass player, Jason. Pretty damn, and I must say, you know, I saw the new video for Newstead, the Soldier Head video. Man, what a great. I mean, I always knew you could sing, but you know, behind Metallica, you were always their bass player for the most part. And so when I saw you sing that video, it was awesome, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a long time coming, dude. This is a culmination of all those cool experiences I've had with the different bands through time, and now putting my name on something. These are my songs that I composed from top to bottom for the first time, a full album from top to bottom under my own name. So I'm pretty jacked up, man.
Yeah, that is so cool. And I know, Jason, you were born and raised in Battle Creek, Michigan. And who were you really digging on listening to musically when you were growing up?
I had two older brothers that are 5 and 8 years older than me, so I was exposed to some pretty cool music pretty early. They were teenagers in the 60s, so I heard Hendrix real early. Original Ted Nugent band, Rob Grange, the original bass player, one of my great heroes, unsung heroes of bass as far as I'm concerned. Really killer. And then, Hendrix music and Hendrix bass and all that always played a big part. And there was also a lot of funk music in my household, a lot of garage funk, but also like Ohio Players, Earth, Wind & Fire, and James Brown and things like that, too. So that helped my bass love, I think.
Okay, wonderful. And I know you started your earlier part of your career with the band Flotsam and Jetsam. And tell me about that album, Doomsday for the Deceivers. You wrote a lot of that album, right?
That's correct, yeah. Pretty much Michael Gilbert and I put that record together back in 1984, 85. When we were in mid-stages of Flotsam and Jetsam, and Arizona, Phoenix. Kelly and I started it back in February '82, so it's 30th-year anniversary this year.
Wow,
or last year 30th-year anniversary, and I went back and jammed with them, actually. Original band got back together and played Doomsday for a couple of weekends just for fun back in January and February of 2012. So we're still brothers, and they're still rocking. They got a fresh album out now, so they're out on tour in a couple days, and wish them all the best.
And so Jason, off of that Doomsday album, I just got to ask you, what's your favorite track?
I got to go with, I think Iron Tears, probably, overall. Composition-wise, that was a big feather in my cap to get that one finished, and actually, because I wrote it on bass, and then the other players kind of came in and finished the puzzle, and that was a pretty big deal for me. It wasn't my first one. I think Hammerhead was my first completed one, but Iron Tears was a big, kind of a little bit more difficult to play. Timing's a little weird. And as far as the out-and-out evil, I think Desecrator is probably the toughest one to execute as a instrumentalist. So, there you go.
Okay, cool. And then, Jason, how did you become a part of the band Metallica? I know the auditions were held over there in San Francisco, and how in the world did that all happen?
I was the kind of spokesman and corresponding tape trader guy for Flotsam for the years that we were together, and so Lars was also that person in his band to tape trading worldwide and stuff like that. So when he put out his feelers to all over the world, whether it was internationally or domestically, my name came up at every turn, and so I was favored going into the whole thing, and that's kind of how it was. From my hard work and diligence with Flotsam and Jetsam through all of the correspondence and tape trading, it got its attention.
Okay, cool. And then the Garage Days album was released in 1987, and what was that experience like for you personally, different than when you recorded with Flotsam and Jetsam in the studio?
The recording was the same that I was pretty much used to. You go in, you stand there, the guy turns on the recorder, and you blast it. That was the same as Flotsam records, so that wasn't much different from the Garage Days. I think we finished the whole thing in 5 or 6 days, top to bottom, so that was pretty similar to what I was used to as far as the punk rock ethic of recording. Things really didn't start getting serious as far as the recording thing until the Black Album.
Right, okay, and then right in the middle of that, the opening track to the amazing album, Injustice for All, was called Blackened, and I love how you played bass on that tune. And you were given partial songwriting credit on that tune, correct?
Yeah, the main riff and the middle riff, the heavy riff, those are mine. And James and I, that's the first one that we pieced together as a team. So that was a pretty big feather in my cap, too.
Yeah, great album. And then, like you were saying, when the Black Album came out in 1991, and what was that venture like for you, being there in the studio with the producer Bob Rock? I know he had done a lot of other production studio work for a lot of other bands, and what was that like being in the same room as Bob Rock on that amazing studio album?
For the Black Album, Bob Rock was really kind of our savior. He came in and opened up our minds to the way of the orchestral feel for a band. The bass player plays the bass part, the guitar player plays guitar chair 1, Kurt plays guitar chair 2, that kind of thing. Up until that time, I had just copied the guitar parts on my bass. I just play all super fast, picking and a bunch of notes and stuff. And then Bob taught me about laying down the concrete, laying down the slabs of metal bass for those guys to put their things over the top of. So that was a big, big learning experience for all of us, but especially for me, really addressing what a bass player is supposed to be, playing the bass part, representing that, holding down the whole thing, the anchor of it all. So that was probably the single greatest learning experience for me recording-wise with Metallica.
Okay, cool. And I know throughout the 90s you were with Metallica. And then, you played with some amazing artists like Ozzy Osbourne on Ozfest and another great band called Echo Brain. But, Jason, tell me about this new amazing band, Newstead, and the new album that's out right now.
Yeah, I got to play a lot of cool stuff through the 2000 to 2010. I was on a whole bunch of different records. Did 3 with Voivod, played with Ozzy, did the Echo Brain record, did some shows with Government Mule, recorded with Government Mule, a whole bunch of different styles of music, DJ Shadow, all these different things. And so now I came to kind of like, that's been percolating this whole time, and now I get to pour out the brew and make it happen. All these experiences I've had with all these different amazing players, like Warren Haynes, Zach Wilde, and Andreas Kisser, James Hetfield, all these people teaching me, didn't even know they were doing it, but they were the whole time, and I didn't know they were doing it till now either. As I go to apply myself to write these songs, to write this album, and it's old school metal, that's what I am, so that's all I can be, that's all the music can be, that is my forte, that's what I spent the most hours doing, so that's how it comes out. All these different styles that I've opened myself up to have been spewed out into this metal EP now. So we went and recorded 11 tracks, and so the first 4 of them is what you have on the metal EP there. And so I got 7 more in the can, and I'm going to record a few more to put out a full album in May. And so all of the tour stuff is getting put in place now, and the big records and the offers from all over the world, as you can imagine. The record's been out for 2 weeks now. I've been #1 at the iTunes Metal Charts for 2 weeks now. Just between me and 3 other guys out of my garage, we made it go to #1. So we're pretty proud of that. And we're just going to take it, follow through with this big album as the second punch coming at you, and then take it out to the people. So there is a grand plan, and I'm very excited about it.
Very cool, Jason. And I just saw the new video. I do an 80s show here in Los Angeles, but you know what, man? I am going to throw on that Soldier Head tune. And how did you guys come up with the tune Soldier Head?
That one was actually, I have to tell you, it was channeling completely. When I got my guitar in my hands and I'm in my studio and I'm in my right place, just like when I'm painting, it comes to you and you take it and you just go for it and you chase it. And that's exactly what happened, except this time I have my iPad GarageBand, and as soon as the idea comes, I put it down. So the immediacy that you feel from this song, it's because of that. I was able to capture it the minute it came to my head, the minute it hit my hands, it went into the recorder. There wasn't really a thing, and I'm meandering, and I'm doing this, and a couple weeks later, and if you remember it, and blah, blah, blah. It was like I hit it right as it came from the sky, and it was down in 10 minutes, and we built it to be what you have now. So that's really what it comes down to. It was very much a purposeful thing that was meant to be. It just came to me.
Very cool, man. Jason's new band, Newstead, brand new EP is out right now called Metal. Get it today at newsteadheavymetal.com for more info. Jason Newstead of Metallica, thank you so very much for being a part of the 80s experience tonight. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. And I think that the Soldier Head and all that stuff fits right in there. We're old school metal. We can get away with it doing it in your show. It's an instant classic, baby. So just go with it, and I appreciate your help on this, man. And one more thing, let everybody know I'm Jason Newstead on Facebook, and I'm talking to people every day. So send me some love, and we'll hook it up. See you out there on the road. Keep the metal alive, man. Thank you.